Will you ever be prepared for managing Manchester United? Who knows?
What was that like the first time being in front of the boys as the boss?
It was a smooth transition. I felt comfortable. I'm confident in what I do, and I just clicked into gear.
We're going to go back to the back four. Was that quite straightforward for you?
It was the best plan for the game, and it's something that I'm comfortable with, and it's something I've been coaching for the last 6 months, day in, day out. Have you had some insight into my conversations with the players? Or
No. I'm at Manchester United's training ground to meet my old teammate, Darren Fletcher. We used to call Sir Alex the boss, but now Darren Fletcher is the boss. I'm curious to pick his brain on everything about his new team. Now that you're in charge, Fletch, do I have to call you boss?
A lot of the players have found that difficult, so I've just kept it to Fletch.
Have they, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. Tom Heaton called me an old nickname today, and then I pulled him up on it, and he was devastated. And Bruno's been taking the mick out of him all day because of it. No, the lads are comfortable calling me Fletch, so yeah, it's not quite boss yet.
No, I mean, obviously we used to call the...
There's only one boss.
He was the boss, wasn't he?
He was.
What's that been like transitioning? Obviously, you know, like as from a player, now you're in charge, you know,
Yeah.
so it's obviously completely different. How have you found that transition?
I think it's been quite methodical, really, because I've been back at the club for 5 years, and I've been around the first team in different roles since that. So I feel like I've applied my trade and learned my trade inside Manchester United, worked under some amazing people, have experience of different situations and difficult situations and good situations. So there's been lots of success. We've won trophies within that. We're qualified for Europe. There's been disappointments. So in the last 5 years, I feel like I'm in a good position to be prepared. Will you ever be prepared for managing Manchester United? Who knows? But for me, I feel comfortable in it. I know the players, I know the club. I'm trying to enjoy it, and I'm trying to just go on my instincts of all the things that I've learned from a whole career in football, life at Manchester United, but especially these last 5 years, which have been off the pitch.
What was that like the first time being in front of the boys as the boss? Because you used to be on the other side, aren't you? You must have been a little bit nervous.
No, I wasn't actually. I was quite calm. But again, because I know them all,
yeah,
and I've got such good relationships with them all, and I've tried to help them and work with them and know them personally, and I've been there for good times and you know, times to be supportive of them. So I was comfortable. I've presented to them before. I've coached them all before, or 95% of them before. So it felt quite. It was a smooth transition. I felt comfortable, and I said, yeah. I'm confident in what I do, and I just clicked into gear. There was no time to think, really. I didn't have much time to prepare or think, so I think that helped me as well. The fact that I was just off my instincts and do what I do what I think is Manchester United, prepare the team in my beliefs, which are in correlation with the club's, and the fact that I've had 6 months coaching the under-18s, where I've been preparing my team for games every week. I've just continued that over to this environment.
I mean, that's one of the great things I think with this club is obviously the history. Do you kind of tap into that? Was that simple to see, like, you know, in the first game, Burnley away, we're going to go back to the back four? Was that quite straightforward for you?
Yeah, really straightforward, because it's what I know, it's what
Yeah.
I played in at the club. So for me, it was very, very comfortable to go back to that. I think it was the best plan for the game, and it's a formation I enjoy. So yeah, that was a simple decision for me, and I felt it was one that had no other consequences really, other than it was the best plan for the game, and it's something that I'm comfortable with, and it's something I've been coaching for the last 6 months, day in, day out.
Do you think about Sir Alex and kind of the impact he's had on all of us? And he was a manager. He didn't really do much kind of day to day, did he, training? No. Do you think, in a way, coaching is, I think it's improved coaching. Do you think it's kind of, we've kind of complicated things with so much?
Well, you've just hit the nail on the head. Sometimes we get so obsessed with that we forget to talk about the basics, or we forget to practice the basics. The basics are the things that win you the games. The tactics and the game plans are really, really important. But if you don't know the basics, that means nothing. So you have to make sure the basics and the fundamentals are always there. And then hopefully the tactics and the players' individual brilliance can come out and win you the game. But they're non-negotiables for me, and I talk about that to the players constantly. Big thing about me is put them into a structure, have an idea, recognise what the opposition do, but preparing too much. Opposition can do different things as well, so they have to be aware to make their own decisions. So I think giving them a framework, giving them some ideas, but ultimately having a principle of whether breaking lines quickly, playing forward quickly, running forward, recognising where the jumps and the presses come from. How do you find the spare man off the back of that? Is it through a direct pass? Is it through a bounce? Is it through a connection? Are we dragging them to one side to switch play to speed up to attack? And ultimately trying to ask questions of the opposition constantly, Can we get into the opposition's half and control the game, work them side to side? So I want to see my team have lots of variation, but with the freedom to go and express themselves and recognise what the game needs.
Yeah, because as good as Sir Alex was, we weren't looking over there at him, were we? He trusted us. He picked us to play, and he trusted us, and we were there to find solutions. And I think the best players, the best teams, you have guys out there thinking, what's the solution?
Yeah. So that's exactly the conversation I had with the players. So I said, we'll have a game plan, we'll have a strategy, we'll have an idea of what we think Burnley are going to do, but that can change.
Yeah.
So you have to, on the pitch, take responsibility. You're the guys on there, you're the experienced players. If you think this decision is best, take it. There's no time. We can discuss it at half-time, which is what we did.
Yeah.
But during the game, I gave the responsibility to the players to figure it out for themselves if they need to, and to take responsibility to make some decisions. And I challenge them to do that, because I'm a big believer in player ownership, being collaborative, because ultimately, as you know, they're the ones who cross the white line. They're the ones who have to play, and they're the most important people in this game that we all love.
Yeah, and you're not going to be the type that's going to be, it's all about me.
No.
You were kind of the ultimate teammate, kind of, you know, you could always rely on you, and I can imagine you're probably leading that way. You know, how can I do what's best for this group and for every individual? And I'm sure the players probably can see that in you. They probably appreciate that you're still one of them, really, aren't you? Yeah. You're just in charge. And I think having somebody that's kind of been there and done it, do you think that helps to create a connection to the lads?
Have you had some insight into my conversations with the players? Or
No.
You've hit the nail on the head. It's not about me. I've constantly reiterated to the players that I've had my time as a player, and I loved every moment of it. I was very, very lucky to play for this great club and for other clubs, to win the things that I did, to play with the great players that I did, like yourself. The best time ever, but my time's done now. Yeah. It's all about them. I want the best for them. I want them to go and win more trophies than me. I want to have them to experience the success that I had, the feelings that I had. I had that when we won the FA Cup final. I was the happiest man in the world for the lads. Yeah. I was so buzzing to see them lift the trophy. When
you look at kind of where Manchester United is at now compared to where it was when we were there, going forward, what do you think is going to help? Because you've seen all these different styles come through. What do you think would suit this club and this team?
Well, I think that's not my decision, and I trust the people who are going to make that decision. Yeah. I think we've got good people, and I think they'll make the right decision for what's best for Manchester United. It is. We hope it's an evolved, modern-day version of what we experienced. Yeah. I think what we experienced was special. I think playing forward, running forward, fast, exciting, attacking football, but also knowing how to sit in, be hard to beat, to dig out a result and to hit teams on the counter-attack. There is a lot more game plan, tactical elements today, but hopefully we could have a hybrid version of a real modern, fast, exciting, attacking brand of football, which is the club is synonymous with, the things that the fans want, lots of young players into the team. That's the history of this club.
That's when I think back to our team, when it was at its best, it was literally you could play any team in any style, any weather, any pitch, and it didn't matter. You know, we could find solutions, and I think having that, not being so set on one thing, actually being so flexible I actually think is a huge strength, because you can play any game, any way, any time.
I agree. I think we had a mindset of if you want a football match, we'll try and outplay you. Yeah. But if you want to fight, we'll outfight you. Yeah. If you want to battle, if you want to outrun, we'll outrun you. We would find a way to win the game, and we'd be comfortable in playing a way to win that certain game. Go direct at times if you need to. But I think we're seeing that in football in general now. There's a lot more long balls, a lot more direct play. The game's evolving constantly, so you just have to be ahead of the cycle, really, or be very relevant, or looking what the next trends might be and what might be coming.
I mean, I think it's easy when you're winning and you're doing well. When the game's tough, I think it's when you kind of see the players and they kind of got to step up. Have you been able to kind of talk to the guys about, even if you get difficult moments, you know, you got to hang in there? Yeah, I mean, we've got players who do that. I think we've got players who do it, but we were very, very fortunate to have Sir Alex and senior players, and we had that domino effect of they're the senior players, then they move on, then the next ones have learned from them and they move on. We had that cycle constantly that Sir Alex created for all his teams. But without doubt, in resilient times and in difficult times, the players have to step up and almost take on that challenge even more. Almost stick your shoulders out. I play for Manchester United, look at that badge on your chest, be really proud. You're here for a reason, because you're a good player. Stick your chest out in adversity and go and prove people wrong. Ultimately, you've got to do that. Deal with all the disappointment, the frustrations, and go and prove people wrong. Well, I want to wish you all the best. I'm absolutely delighted that you're the boss, even though it's weird to say that. But all the best and good luck. Thank you very much, mate.